As soon as Red Raptor came out, we both kind of hopped over, and he has not wavered from that legend since. He continues to use it 1s and 2s, and he is so good on both these weapons. And then having MegD by his side, another very consistent, very, very talented player. They are going to be a menace if they make it back into the top 8.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a big thing, because I did see a couple orbs the other day as well for the South American bracket, but what makes this such a unique weapon in 2s for me is you can kind of choose what tempo you want to play while you have this equipped, right? Like, you can do very simple side light side airs, right? You just leave it at that. You can get a little bit more advanced if you want. We're going to see the first team combo lead to first strike right there off of MegD, but I mean, like, the variance that you can get off of a weapon like that is just so cool to me.
Oh yeah, and the synergy these two players have, this is not their first tournament together, I promise you that, as they set up the 2v2 combos. Absolutely second nature for these guys, as MegD swapped back over to give Raydish the space he needs. Okay, Raydish being sent out to the left. Nice neutral sig from Glue. That is going to put a lot of pressure on MegD. But he swapped back over, trying to get that 2v1 against Raydish, and it did work out for him as they are able to confirm that first knock on Raydish.
That was such good coverage by Sprite there, knowing that Glue was going to be in such bad end lag going for the GC signature there, to be able to just cover the tracks, because Raydish, of course, was looking in there to try to get that punish. Amazing, amazing stuff. Let's keep this one close.
Yeah, and that's what blue team needs to do. They need to keep this close. Do not want to let red team get that momentum. Like we just, oh, nice neutral sig off of the Red Raptor. Coming back out with the side sig. Gonna get on the motorcycle one time. Oh, blue, okay, drop back down stage. Has that lance. Nice, good 3-piece. Coming back up on the stage, looking for a nair. No, opts to go back down to ground. Sprite able to find his way, has that axe in hand, and yet another Rayman that is not SpongeBob.
I am disgruntled at the very least. Okay, looking for the bounce off the backboard there is Raydish with that orb, though. MegD's going to go off stage. Sprite's looking for some edge guard right there. Recovery will come through, but so will the sweat. So there's no follow-up after that. Big swings, though, from Glue. Forces Meg back off stage.
And they both find routes to get back. Raydish putting the pressure on, letting MegD come under the bottom, get back up on stage. Ooh, nice nair into Sair. Raydish trying to finish up after that recovery from MegD, but couldn't find it. He did find the knockout, though, as he is now on his final stock. MegD in a position now where he needs to tank it out.
Oh my! Glue's just getting his ankles broken while Sprite's getting 2v1 right in the center right there. Glue gets disarmed off of that exchange as well, picks up the lance, but look at Sprite's damage right there. Even with MegD falling, that is 2 healthy red team members.
Yeah, they are very healthy indeed. Blue team trying to get that 2v1 opportunity there. They did get a little damage build up, but nothing significant. Although his Raydish is starting to take a little punish here, and that does get him out of here. MegD has a lot of health, and I want you to watch this man work because he is very good in 2v1 situations.
Oh, yeah.
As long as he does not get caught up in the team combo, with they get a dodge read on him and then be able to set the team combo, MegD has a very good chance of making this happen.
Okay, Sprite gets the action started. MegD's able to just jump out. Yeah, patient play. I've seen this cutscene before, slow motion. That's not going to be a 2v1 just yet, but MegD now has Gauntlet, so has to play a little bit more safe.
And he's not letting blue team split put him in the middle. He's keeping them on the same side, especially the speed off of this Wushang, the signature kit off this Wushang. He needs to stay out of the way of those recoveries, although it's looking a little more bleak now as they rack up some good damage. He tried to fish out that read in the air. Blue saw it coming, took off out the other direction. Nice recovery, and here we go. Now it's a 1v1 for MegD, and he has the health advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, that recovery on the spear is so dangerous. Off stage, though, there's the lance! Glue closes it out in deep red. It got dicey for a second, but that's going to be the first one on the board for blue team.
That was impressive. Glue coming out with a 633 damage, 3 knockouts. Raydish had a little rough time that game. He put out 561 damage, but wasn't able to be able to find those knockouts off the orb that I know he would like to have had. And he went out a little early. Leaving MegD there all by his lonesome, having to fight that 2v1 situation, and he just didn't have enough left to get it done, although he did find, he found that KO right there at the end, but Blue was able to put it down and finish it. So that does give blue team the advantage going into game number 2. We also see MegD was not about that spear at all. It was all about the gauntlets in game number 1.
Yeah. When it mattered the most, maybe, but still quite cross the finish line right there. Glue and Sprite, first one on the board right here. Let's see if we get a tie coming through into game 2. But right out the gates, quick little 3-piece. Raydish going to go to work, though, over on Glue on the right side. No weapon as well. No spawn to be found.
And he is just chasing him down. He's going to swap. Nope. I was going to say he's going to swap over to Sprite, but he went right back to Glue. They are trying to rack up some damage on him very quickly. MegD coming back over, going to reset a little bit here. Neutral, dish out the recovery. Okay, Glue coming up with a nair, keeping MegD at bay. Sprite just stuck over there with that axe, trying to make something happen, but now he's got Raydish in his face with that orb sidelight. Sayer not going to be enough on these wide sides of Demon Island, but he was in a perfect position to pick up Glue on his way over there to try to save the day.
I said it before, sometimes that is all you need. The old reliable right there coming out of the orb. Raydish just wants to get out of trouble in a hurry, but sneaks back in. Sprite is able to find that first strike right there. It's pretty damaged for both members of Blue. Sprite needs to make it back to stage, but MegD just target swaps over to Glue. No target to be found, though. Sprite is coming in on red. Raydish wants to put the team on his back for a moment.
That was a nice recovery off the boots, immediately swapping back over to Orb, trying to find these knockouts. You have a little more option on the Orb than you do for boots when it comes for knockout options. And now he's swapped back over. Now it's time to build up damage. Put the boots back on the feet, Raydish. He has definitely got a game plan, and he is executing it here in game number 2.
Okay. Pretty precarious position. We did see Sprite get caught up in the vortex of the 2v1 earlier in game 1, and Glue wasn't able to break up that action, so a little bit of pensive play now. As I say it, you just skateboard right in. What are you doing?
Oh man, he just raw side sig across the stage right to Raydish's front door. But Glue is gonna find the knockout on a MegD there, the first one to fall after almost 2 minutes. Well, the first one to fall off of MegD rather. Oh, nice dare coming back down the stage for Sprite. Another dare. Trying to play the aerial game. Raydish right there, the support, man. That Sayer was money, but Raydish cut him off with one of his own.
Okay, Glue couldn't find the follow-up off of Sprite's unarmed attack right there. Ray's gonna break up the action with that orb, still throws it away though. Nothing left to pick up here. Glue wants to commit to left side to try to protect Sprite, but now it's MegD and Glue in the offstage position.
And he had the pressure on Raydish, and he backed up and let Raydish go ahead and come back up, get that weapon, and then ultimately confirm that stock on a Sprite 2v1 situation. They're gonna be able to get the setup. Recovery coming back up on stage, right there for Raydish to pick up the boots. MegD hanging high. Okay, I was gonna say, is the ground pound coming? You know you got it. Oh, the pressure on Sprite right now. Raydish cleaned in house.
Whoa.
Everybody back up,
okay,
bro.
Everybody chill. Everybody chill. It's fine. Just take a breather, okay? Right,
I wish he
was gonna get hit off the left side right there. Raydish finally loses that stock, but I mean, he was going to work right there as everybody across the board falls to 1.
If he would have turned around after that and got more damage off stage, like he literally just said, everybody back up. That was great awareness from Raydish, just seeing what was there in front of him, realizing that MegD did not have control of that situation and just taking control of himself.
Big side air from Raydish to push Sprite off the left side. Doesn't have enough time to force the 2v1 onto Glue, though, so we return to neutral once again. The dodge comes through from Sprite to try to find an opening, but it's nothing.
It's just so good staying out of the way of those axe aerials. Perfect time dodges. And now, there we go. Blue team out of here, and we once again find ourselves all tied up going into game number 3. But that was a pretty decisive one. We see Raydish picked it up, 661 damage, had 5 of the knockouts. He was not playing around that game.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty equal spread between Boots and Orb as well, about 40 and 45% for both weapons. So, I mean, about what you would expect from a damage spread for something like that. And like you said before, picking up those knockouts, especially that slam dunk at the end, was something special.
Yeah, and we see once again MegD just not having time for that spear. It is all about the gauntlets, and we see the same thing over on Sprite. Sprite's like, nah, I'm all about axe. I don't want nothing to do with those gauntlets. So, you know, the players, they want to lock in on what they're comfortable with, but your legends do have like an entire kit, guys. So maybe want to reach into some of those other options and mix things up, because Raydish and MegD took absolute control of that game.
Wait a minute, the game has depth? You're kidding. Oh, let's see if these gauntlets come in for game 3. Maybe they'll make a little bit more of an impact for both members of both teams. But Sprite gets caught in the middle right away. Glue can't find that follow-up.
MegD fishing for those recoveries. He's trying to get an early knockout on Sprite. I mean, if he's going to sit there and hang out in the air like that, might as well get underneath him with the spear. Raydish sending everybody off stage.
Should have nothing, yeah,
coming
has
out
to go for the save.
Nice save on your teammate there, Raydish. MegD is already at the point of losing his first stock. Blue team is coming out swinging here in game number 3. Oh no, I bet he wished.
Okay. It's a stock trade I think I'm fine with, honestly, but it looked fun at the end of the day.
Glue would have had that knockout if that weapon throw was not in the way, taking the momentum, bringing his opponent back down to ground.
I think Raydish looking for the follow-up there from MegD, but gets picked off the right side right there. Glue's going to look to do some land stuff here, but Sprite picks up the action for him.
Oh, Glue reaching, trying to get down with those dares. MegD coming up underneath, trying to get that recovery read, could not find it. Dashing over off stage, Sprite coming down to end that exchange. Glue still left unarmed, could not get down to that weapon drop. Ends the 2v1 combo. Weapon throw came in too late from Sprite and let Raydish go ahead and confirm that knockout, and now he's got that pressure off stage. Now he's going to back up, bring it back to neutral, and start things over. Ooh, nice neutral six from Sprite.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, Raydish will fall right there, but I have to commend just like the technical proficiency of using those active inputs from the boots to really set up these alley-oop moments for MegD, or know when he wants to just cut them off early and go for the knockout. Really, really amazing stuff. Let's see what the orb brings to play here.
Sprite was cooking there for a minute at the very top of the map, unarmed. Almost had that knockout if maybe his opponent was just a little more damaged. Glue trying to lay down these side lights. Okay, a couple dares back to back, finding their home. Just randomly charging up a side sig in the middle of the stage. That works too. Right there for Raydish and MegD to pick up that little 2v1 interaction, get some bonus damage, and they need it. Raydish is at the point of almost being knocked out. MegD in a pretty good position, but he is now on his final stock, and Blue has solidified a very decent lead right now.
Yeah, I feel like Glue is just really, or Sprite, excuse me, has really just started to play so well from underneath either member of Red. What a turnaround right there. MegD looking for the ground pound. Not even going to matter. Raydish is there to cover up all the pieces.
Okay, now that they're in a little better position, but Raydish needs to make sure that he stays out of harm's way. One good recovery off an axe will spell the end of his game, and he needs to be here to support his teammate. Got those boots in hand, on his feet, trying to make something happen here, and a lot of unanswered damage on Raydish right now. He's continuing just to be able to kick at will here.
Okay. Raydish gonna fall off right side right here. Has to go for the recovery. Sprite looking for the ground pound. Gonna get one, and there is nothing left in the tank for Raydish. MegD falling off stage, and we might be slowing things down once again, but you don't even get the chance. There's game 3.
Interesting turn of events in game number 3, Walt. Blue team turning it up, showing that it wasn't just a one-game fluke, that they do have what it takes to take out Raydish and MegD, is they now have the advantage going into game number 4. I know MegD and Raydish got to be a little rattled. Don't expect any weapon legend swaps off of Raydish. I don't know what MegD might do. He does have a little more options in his pocket. Oh, Blue, that pressure with that down stick coming off stage. Nice Sayer to finish things up. And we are going to big brain the map selection screen while we take a look at this damage breakdown.
Yeah, let's look through for just
MegD
a moment.
had hands put on him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't want to say it, but I mean, you said it. So let's go.
100% accuracy on the signature count from the entirety of Red Team. So very efficient with their signatures. Are we going to Miami Dome? No way we're going to Miami Dome.
It's possible. It's
okay, I was gonna say there's no way.
Come on.
We're going back to Small Fortress Alliance. Red Raptor, Chun-Li, Macho Man, or Rayman. Oh, I'm nervous for Raydish and MegD right now. Like I know they can push into a game 5.
3,
but,
2,
you know, especially in Brawlhalla, you deal with the mental, you deal with the momentum from back and forth from each team. And going off that loss and Raydish falling early again, I just hope it doesn't mess with his head here in game number 4.
Let's see if they can close this one out. I mean, the team combos from MegD and Raydish have just been so on point, but it really feels like Sprite and Blue have locked in specifically on different dodge patterns, different ways they want to find these reads. Sprite in particular on those recoveries were just so good at finding early KOs too. So
Blue getting a couple unanswered slings there. Sprite coming in to clean things up. Now Raydish is just kind of floating around looking for any opportunity to throw that orb. Recovery is going to be a good safe option to get back up on stage. Use that soft platform to move around here as Blue just throws it out over to the left side and get a punish from the MegD. A lot of neutral gameplay here and not a lot of breaking off except Raydish's first stock again.
Yeah, and I wanted to point that out. I mean, look at the way Raydish was playing that first stock. I'm sure we'll see some of it on the replay. But like, it really didn't look like he had much in the way of initiative, and we're seeing it again. He's just kind of hovering over on this right platform. MegD is the one that kind of steps first, waiting for Raydish to respond after that, but they're not getting a lot of damage from it.
No, Raydish is not he's not engaging. He's literally just running, trying to catch these little anti-airs. Gonna go ahead and get that confirmation on Sprite. Wait a second, maybe this is a game plan. Maybe MegD just gets rid of the damage, sends him up in the sky, and then Raydish can take him out with the recovery.
I think it's definitely possible. Like, it looked like the way Raydish and MegD were playing before. Here we go, big combo. But like, being able to leverage those active inputs specifically on the boots, right, was so good with Raydish being the initiator in that twos comp. But with MegD do it, where are they all going? Slow. What is happening?
They're all falling very quickly. And Sprite's on his last stock. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. We have another interesting turn of events here in game number 4. As somehow, some way, it started off so good for blue team, and now red team is in such a good position. As long as Raydish can stay out of harm's way. Blue reaching over, MegD trying to get that read again, couldn't find it. Side stick coming out from Sprite, big ground pound. Everybody's got their dodges. They're finishing up with a Sair, more pressure on MegD. Ground pound on Raydish, and he's on his final stock.
And that's got to be almost a stock as well if Sprite goes for one more recovery. It's not going to happen just yet. MegD looks for the counter hit, but Glue is there to pick up the pieces. Last stocks here for Raydish and MegD.
All right, Glue, it is all on you now to be able to do what you can on the second stock. And they're literally, Raydish and MegD are on tournament stocks at the hands of Glue and Sprite. This is just one of those weird timelines that you just don't really expect. Oh, nice there. He's continuing to put pressure on MegD. Raydish came down and tried to save it, and I think that was enough to at least get him off of Sprite, even though he didn't, get him off of MegD, even though he didn't find any damage from that interaction. Oh, he's trying to set the 2v2 combo, the 2v1 combo. The Sair misses, but they set it right back up, finish it up with a neutral sig.
This is scary, right? And especially the way Raydish and MegD were playing this before. That's the stock off the top. It's up to Raydish to stay alive in this bracket.
I'm done. The down sig and that 45-degree angle gonna take MegD out of this game, and now is all up to Raydish.
It is 1v1. It is 1v1. Wait a second.
He is another very proficient 2v1 player, and he's an amazing 1v1 player. But Glue is in a very good position. All he needs is one good swing up the axe, but Raydish needs to lock down the weapon star right here, right now, and do not give Glue any options.
Now we do see, of course, Raydish PR2 in North America. This guy is familiar with singles. We're going to see a quick little two-piece, but the recovery comes through. It doesn't get reversal KO just yet because of the unarmed.
Raydish is in big trouble right now. That recovery.
That's it. That might be it.
The recovery didn't knock, but now Glue has a weapon in his hand, and he's doing a great job staying out of the way of this orb. Just trying to find the perfect opportunity. Weapon throw coming down. Sair going to come off of Raydish's orb.
Reaching.
Ooh. D-Light.
Scary position.
I know. Anything to get the job done here.
And Glue knows it, right? Like, you can see the way he's fishing for some of these recoveries. Raydish not giving anything right now. This has been played perfectly so far, Slow. That's the disarm as well, and the weapon starve.
Raydish though being sent off stage now. He does have those boots. In counter position to Glue. Okay.
Denied! That's it!
That's
it's
it!
a 2v1! Raydish clutches it out, stays alive, and forces the game 5.
That is the Raydish effect. All 6 knockouts going to my man there. 594 damage, so a lot of cleanup work. Glue, 719 damage. He was putting hands on everybody, but not quite enough there at the end. But fear not, Glue and Sprite have another opportunity to close out this set, but so does Raydish and MegD, as we have found ourselves in a game 5. This is a good one.
My man Elmer's with the glue, dude. Like, the way he was sticking onto MegD and Raydish, putting on that damage thick, but it just was not enough. I mean, Raydish really locked it down in that 1v2, just played it immaculately, especially being able to take that first stock off of Sprite and force the 1v1, where he really, really thrived. It was just an amazing comeback.
Yeah, he is so good at stage control. He is so good at controlling the tempo of the game. He is just a very unique player. In that regard, the extremities that he has on, speeding things up, slowing things down. Very, very active, aware player, and did a great job in that 2v1, being able to fight his way through, keep his team in this tournament, and give them a huge boost of confidence going into game number 5. He's got to be feeling good.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're gonna try to adopt that same strategy, because it really looked like Raydish was doing so much damage, especially towards the end. Obviously, he was able to close out that 2v1, but so much of it, like I said before, was MegD being the one that kind of threw themselves into both players on blue and initiated so that Raydish could find those KOs off the top with maybe Boots recovery.
Absolutely. Here we go. We're gonna just start off in neutral, looking for weapon drops. Nobody trying to go out there unarmed and crazy. Raydish is gonna be the first one to strike here as he continues to put damage on Glue. But Glue with a nice reversal.
Glue's
and
mad.
He is cooking
Hang on.
him.
Okay, Sweat did come through right there. Sprite wasn't there to play defense on the perimeter, but I mean that was great first damage there on the side of Blue. Here comes the team combo.
Throw him down. He's gonna break up whatever MegD's anti-air was gonna be. Nice dodge through the weapon throw from Blue. Raydish right now picking up the landings. MegD sending them both down.
Brother.
Wait a second. Oh, Sprite, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. There's no. Oh! You gave him the options. He's still sweat beating though. MegD gonna find his way back up. Okay, I got a little scary. I don't think they wanted to make that trade really, but MegD did a great job coming back up.
Yeah, Slow. I mean, you mentioned it right before this game started. Is momentum a thing? I think based on how this game has started, yeah, probably. Let's see if Raydish and MegD can hang on to this one for a little bit longer. Sprite with the big ground pound's going to get one stock right there. Blue's able to cover the side, so he comes back safely. Now the target's going to go over to MegD.
Blue had as much of a role in that knockout as Sprite did. He did a great job defending that edge, just keeping MegD over the right side so Sprite could do his thing over on the left side. Great awareness, great play from Blue Team. And this is so close again. I cannot believe game number 5. And this set's been so much fun because it's been red win, blue win, red win, back to blue. And now, if we're following the pattern, this is red's win. This is Raydish and MegD's game. I think Sprite and Blue are going to do everything they can to try and stop that pattern right here now as Sprite's taken so high up in the air. His Glue is now trying to find his way over here, but Sprite with the pressure on Raydish, giving Blue the opportunity to come back up. But MegD making the adjustment, coming back over. Nice recovery from Blue. Very nice.
Yeah, and I mean, Sprite went in to try to cut off the angle on MegD, so it was just doomed from the start. As soon as Meg committed to that edge guard, they're keeping this close. Glue and Sprite, I'm approaching pretty deep red in just a moment. Neither one wants to be the one to initiate right now, but here comes Glue.
Yeah, two big axe swings onto Raydish. MegD going to send him out to the right side, but now Sprite with a lot of force off of that attack as he's floating over here. Okay, Glue's going to be the first one to step up, give Sprite the lane as well. Sprite, a little friendly fire onto his teammate, and that is going to give Red Team the opportunity to go and confirm that stock on him, and Blue Team is on tournament stocks.
Yeah, and this is pretty rough. Like, you almost kind of wish you get double KO'd there, right? Because your respawn timers were a little bit off kilter from one another. It didn't amount to too much damage when Sprite was there all alone. But, I mean, fortunately, they both have a stock left to play with right now. Raydish will fall to last. MegD potentially as well. This is a huge offstage. I think you got to commit to it.
Oh, he let him come back up. He went over to try and put the pressure on Raydish. Saw that MegD was going to find his way. Went over to try to catch a landing and still didn't pull the trigger on it.
Big hits from Glue. We're going last across the board. Game 5, Slow.
Oh no, this is what I love. This is so good. Raydish using that platform, Boots on his feet, trying to find a starter here. Great string opportunities, big damage output if you can get that dodge read. But Glue is doing such a good job floating around MegD, not giving him any opportunity to take a swing with that spear, coming over with the side light, or the neutral light rather.
Yeah, and I mean, the way that Raydish is just patrolling this moving platform right now, it's just kind of like confusing. Sprite and Glue don't know when they're going to be safe from the 2v1, but that's a big hit from MegD. Now Sprite has to clutch.
I don't know. Oh, this is going to be a really rough one for Sprite. Oh, wait!
Wait a second!
Down
Wait a second! No!
That's enough.
Not like this!
He went down. Oh, Sprite went down to confirm it. Almost got taken out by Raydish there. Now we're going to see Raydish here in a 1v1 situation. Blue Team did not want it to be this way. I promise you that. Back-to-back recoveries. He might find another one. Down Sig when Sprite comes back up on stage. Neutral Sig. No, went with the down light.
Also plus online right there. Sprite finds the axe. Here's the big combo. Not going to get too much after it. Raydish potentially getting it, and he does the clutch out into 1v1. 2 games in a row. That set's going to go over to MegD and Raydish.
Wow. Okay, well, we got a lot to unpack here because that was a hell of a set. Sprite and Glue, what a performance. You went up against two Titans and almost got the job.